Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Let the filibustering begin.
Welcome to Nerd Party.
Hello and welcome to Filibuster here on the Nerd Party Network. I'm Lee Hutchison, once again, and our Edinburgh Festival coverage continues once again. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in and shared these interviews. It means so much, and I'm excited to keep bringing you more of these over the coming 10 days. And early next week, me and Dallas will look back at our first week here at the festival, picking out our favourite films so far, and there's been quite a few. But today, we have got interviews with the director and star of a charming British comedy, Old Boys, director Toby MacDonald and French actress Pauline Etienne. Toby MacDonald's wonderfully staged debut film is a reworking of Cyrano de Bergerac's classic story, set against the backdrop of a rough-and-tumble boarding school for boys. Amberson, played by the amazing Lawther, who you remember from Black Mirror and Ghost Stories, may be awkward at sports, but this imagination comes to the fore when he helps the handsome school hero, who's more of a lad than a poet, pursue Agnes, played by Pauline Etienne, the daughter of the visiting French teacher, despite being enamoured with her himself. Be sure to check out this wonderful movie at the Edinburgh Film Festival, and thanks to Toby and Pauline for giving up their time to talk with me. Enjoy the show. Thank you so much for joining me. I loved your film. I caught it earlier in the week, and Rushmore is one of my all-time favourite movies, and it felt like this was just like a wonderful companion to that kind of movie, and just made me incredibly happy to watch it. I actually showed my girlfriend the trailer for it this morning. She was like, "Wait, what's that?" And she's not a big movie fan at all. She was like, "Oh, I think we need to see that one as well." Good. So yeah, it was wonderful. So how was your reaction to I think you had your world premiere last night, was it?
Yes.
How did that kind of go?
It went well. It was really fun to watch it with an audience, and it was Pauline's first time watching it as well, so that was nerve-wracking.
What
was funny.
What was that like for you watching it for the first time? You know, going in, is it difficult watching yourself, or is it kind of exciting?
Not watching myself, because it's been a long time I'm doing this job, so I can get a bit used to it, but no, my first time in English, and I was so exciting to see the movie, and I was really surprised in a good way. Mm-hmm. I loved the movie.
Yeah. Absolutely, and for yourself, this is your first directorial feature.
Yes.
How did this come to be the one that you've chosen, or that it found you?
I worked with my producer Luke for a long time on short films, mm-hmm. And we had an idea about one girl in a boys' boarding school, and so we just worked on it until we felt the script was right, and then we did our best to make it, I think.
What was the kind of process? How did you become involved? As you say, and this is your first English feature, how did you end up going from these wonderful European films to working on something in the middle of England?
In the middle of nowhere. Yeah. The usual way, the casting, and so I sent the video to Toby, and he went to Paris to meet some girls, and I met him at this, it was a Friday, I think. Mm-hmm. And it happened like that. And the week after, I was in London.
We knew straight away.
Yes.
As soon as I met Pauline.
Yes.
And was it a cultural change, kind of, as you were saying, it's nowhere in perhaps England? What was it kind of like for you?
I came to London, so it's not so different from Paris. It's just the language, and I met Alex and Jonah and all this big crew, and Freddie, the writer, and Dennis, and my father, and so we did this huge reading, and it was the first time for me to have this kind of. It was huge because there were a lot of people on this reading.
Oh, I didn't realise that you'd never done that before.
No, never.
Do they not do that in France?
And it was the day of the attacks in Brussels, remember?
Oh, of course.
So yeah. I was completely... yes, but it was I was very shy and very...
I think that's what they're best for, though, those things. You don't you get some creative stuff out of it, but mainly of just
people
putting
like
everyone together.
Josh, and they were like...
Yeah, the English actors, it was water off a duck's back.
I can imagine.
But
strikes me as a movie when you're watching it with these young actors, you're thinking it must be like a holiday camp for them, that it must have been like hanging out with their friends. And because you watch this movie and you think, that's such a great cast. And how did you kind of do that all together? Obviously you teased that you had these kind of big group sessions. How did you find the right combination of people to get involved in a project like this?
Well, we're very specific about the casting. I think we had a very clear idea of who the characters were. I think we were very lucky though that the boys, we did the game was the first thing that we filmed, and they all bonded in the sort of mud and the water, and from that point on. And what's great is that lots of the actors have become friends through that. They've gone on they've done shorts together, and they became like a really tight unit through the filming of it.
I'll have to keep an eye out for the Old Boys cinematic universe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the tree that comes from it. Eros, who plays Johnson, is a very gifted director, comedy director himself. And so he's done shorts with Josh and Jonah as well. But he's going to be he's someone to look out for. In terms of talent.
Absolutely.
Really
Hopefully he'll be here at the festival next year.
Yeah, definitely, I'm sure, yeah.
And with yourself, that you have such a great chemistry with Alex Lawther, who plays the lead character. What was that kind of like to build that kind of relationship together, or did it just naturally come together?
I think it's natural with Alex because he's so nice and really kind, and he makes you comfortable because he knew I was new. And yes, but we worked a lot before the shooting. We have done like some rehearsal, and during the shooting I was a lot with him because all my scenes were, not all but most of them. So we just talked a lot, and he it was the beginning of. He tried to speak French, so he wanted to improve his French with me, and now we speak really good French.
So it's not just short films people are making; it's English language classes, French language classes as well.
He's now just done has he not just done a French language film? Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm sure you'll get wee credit at the end thanks to Pauline. And with it, like obviously it's a somewhat of a reworking of a de Bergerac. Why do you think this is a classic that kind of people kind of go back to and find so much inspiration in?
I think it's that thing of unrequited love. I think is something that everybody understands. I think as well the notion of you being brilliant but someone not being able to see your brilliance is quite a powerful thing. I suppose I always felt that it was quite an English or British type of feeling, not really being able to say what you felt, not being able to tell your true feelings, and that was why it felt like it translated really perfectly to an English teenage story for me, I think. And I think as well the irony within the Cyrano story is always just really satisfying for an audience.
Absolutely. What was it like for yourself that this feels like a very typically English British story? What did you think of that sort of English culture? It must be quite different to perhaps France, this idea of boarding school and a lot of the stereotypes and imagery that comes with it. What was it like for perhaps an outsider?
Yes, it reminds me of Harry Potter first.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
This kind of school. And
you should have played Quidditch perhaps instead. That could have been their little game.
That would have been,
and the school was so beautiful. It was big school, and we don't have that kind of school in France. And when I watched the film yesterday, I thought it was a really typical English movie. And it's a movie that French audience can love, I think.
It's definitely got a very universal appeal, even though, like when you were saying there that unrequited people perhaps don't see our greatness. I suppose when people kind of in the movie industry, the creative arts, that everyone feels frustrated, like, oh, why haven't I got this or that and stuff. It must be something that on a kind of that level must appeal to creative people like yourselves too.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's definitely.
So what's kind of next for the film itself? Where will it be? Obviously now it's had its world premiere.
Yeah.
Where does it kind of go into the world now?
Well, I mean, like you say, I hope that it can travel. We're going around some really great festivals with it, and we'll just see where it lands and when it comes into cinemas. I think that's the goal at the moment, for it to find an audience.
Absolutely. And what's next for yourselves? Have you got any projects that you're working on? Are you going to perhaps go into other features? What about for yourself? Any other exciting roles ahead?
I did a comedy in France, like a big comedy with stars in France. I don't know if you know Cadmerat in England. So it's a movie with him, and it's released in December.
Oh, very good.
Yes. And I'm writing also, and I did a series in Belgium, so yeah, a lot of stuff.
Excellent. And what about for yourself? Where next?
I'm hoping maybe another feature, but they take a while to come together. That's my goal at the moment.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best of luck with the film. It was a truly wonderful experience. Thank you.
Oh, great. Thanks, man.
Join the revolution. Join the Nerd Party.